All right.
Hey, friends and family.
Hello there. Good to see you.
Hi, it's Rex and Shana.
And ready to bring in the 2023 in good style, good fashion.
And Radix is here with us.
Of course, like always.
Yes.
But yeah, we were just thinking about that. I know this. You see a lot of people talking, or see people online and people talking about it. How 2022 was just so tough for so many people. I think both of us included for sure. And just really wanted to start 23 off the right way. Even started off with some kind of a bang, and we're looking forward to a lot of wonderful, amazing things coming together and happening in 2023 that didn't happen in 2022. But it's okay. Timing is everything in life,
Right.
And sometimes it's just a matter of waiting for those right moments. And it feels like it's here for us, and it's here, I think, for a lot of people. I mean, it's been a tough go for so many, and it's time to break out of that, and finding our best selves and getting on our best paths and living our best lives and having dreams come true.
That is it.
That's what we're all about. Dreams coming true.
I'm drinking heart tea today. It's heart-centered, heart chakra tea. It's rose tea. So there's a reason for that. It's because of our topic.
Right, exactly. And of course, a moment ago, I was actually breathing the tea instead of drinking it. And so if I cough a little bit here, that's all that's going on. I'm still trying to get the tea out of my lungs.
That was some real movement.
It sure was. Oh my gosh. So I can't believe I did that. It's like she just started the video, getting ready to talk, and as I went to open my mouth to talk, I was breathing in tea as then I was trying to say something. It really didn't work out. I completely lost it for a second there.
It was really
I'm still
funny
recovering a little bit, so forgive me.
We were laughing only because everything was okay.
Yeah, I'm fine. It's just funny, and just like I said, still trying to get some of the remaining tea that went to my lung back out into down the right tube.
Work on that throat chakra.
All throat chakra right there.
Right? Yeah,
Anyways.
It's kind of funny that we go back to that because when you first arrived today, we were talking about throat chakra, and I was like, I just kind of want to scream right now.
Sure.
Because I've been through a lot of loss and people I love and
care
about
transitioning.
We just
found out another person that was really close to had passed, and a relatively young person at that. So
yeah, it's been a person a week for the last 8 weeks. And my life has transitioned into new life, and I'm just kind of so tired of that, even though it's such a part of the life cycle. Right here I am wearing the scarab with the skull and the pearl that represents Ra on the Ra, and and
the scarab does create, I think it's representing like creation and earth
and new life, and the continuing life, and of course every piece of this necklace is representative of that. And yet at the same time, I'm kind of like, and I'm tired of people transitioning.
But it's a lot to process. I mean, every time it happens, especially when it's somebody you're close to. I mean, it's not something you just process in a couple of hours. I mean, it's something that can take like real time to process, especially when it's somebody you've been close to and you've known for a long time. And when it starts happening back to back to back, I mean, that processing really starts to add up, and it can be very overwhelming. It's a lot of emotion because you can't just process it all together. I mean, each person you want to grieve for individually because of your love and your connection to each person.
Yeah, so the person who transitioned yesterday has been a friend, been in my life, been more than a better acquaintance, but we lost touch a little bit during the last few years, but still someone I've always deeply cared for, and I've known him 32 years, and that's the majority of my life.
Sure.
I'm really moved, so just feeling a lot of unanswered questions and spaces right now, and
a lot I know you don't know about it.
Right.
It's relatively fresh.
But what's wonderful is social media connects to so many people, and there are a lot of friends I have and people I care about. We're just reaching out to each other and being support for one another, and people are just kind of coming out of the woodwork to honor him, and we have that support with each other. So some of us are calling one another, some of us are messaging each other, and then some people are private messaging each other, and some people are videoing, and we're just handling it in different ways, right? But it's so wonderful to have a community of love honoring this person's life. And he was somebody really involved in music and in performance art, and really well known in many communities across the country, and he's really going to be missed to me.
And that's one thing about when somebody who is loved by many and is a loving soul passes, is that it tends to bring people together, especially the people that haven't seen each other in a long time, and as I like to say, you know, when somebody like that passes, flowers grow, because, you know, reconnections are sometimes reforged, remade, you know, and of course sometimes new connections are made as you meet new people that you can feel close to because of such a powerful experience that you share together.
Yeah, and then yesterday as well, learned a good friend of mine, someone I really stay in touch with and really care about and visit in person as much as possible, has AIDS and is really getting sick from it and is not a candidate for the medications which are available that some people have access to. So, you know, I'm just gonna ask that everybody watching this send a lot of love
prayers
to him. Yeah. So it's a lot to feel in a day.
Indeed.
Especially if somebody's seeing their body change due to an illness and the physical manifestations deepen, not just the invisible, but the visible as well. And in the same day that another friend dies, and as I said, it's been someone I care about deeply, family members, friends, a person a week for the last 8 weeks consecutively.
That's a lot to process.
It
That's
is.
a lot of grieving in a short period of time.
But it's happening so fast, there's no grieving. Because you can't even process it before somebody else.
Right.
It's just so consecutive right now. And what I'm also seeing and what I've been manifesting and calling in and wanting, needing to see is community, compassion, kindness, support, show up, empathy, people showing up with love, people supporting each other, and just really showing what empathy looks like openly.
Right.
And how interesting that this is the week where there's a football an injury during football. I don't even know if the injury's from football. Like, we don't even know enough to claim that at this point.
Well, all we know,
but we see compassion show up.
Sure.
And in here with social media, with so many people transitioning at once, seeing compassion show up. And it's like all the things I've been calling in my personal life, in my inner circle, they're all showing up. And then to openly on national TV repeatedly see the act of compassion, the act of care, people showing emotion, people being present, people saying we're putting people before dollar signs, people before industry, people before whatever. And it's like, these are the things I've been calling in. I'm like, well, that's a hell of a way to have to look at it and see it, but it's there. So maybe I wasn't specific enough in how I have been manifesting the things I want to see. I need to add with the highest good for all beings, with the wellness and safety for all beings. And usually I include that. And I've realized during the last probably 3 months, I haven't been including that part of what I've verbally been praying and manifesting and calling in. And now I'm seeing these other things happen as people go.
Sure.
But then I'm still seeing the compassion and the love and the unity and the other pieces that felt complete. And I forgot the main thing, which is the highest good for all, the highest wellness for all. That is something I'm speaking back into what I manifest.
Absolutely.
Because look what's happening when I stopped including that, just in my immediate circle.
And I think it's really telling as well, and Damar Hamlin with the Buffalo Bills. I mean, the emotion and the humanity that was displayed there. I mean, you're looking at, you know, professional football players, professional athletes, and what happened to him was incredibly tragic. I mean, looks like a routine play, routine tackle. I mean, I was watching the game, and to watch him collapse the way he did, and then realize that his heart had completely stopped. But to your point. First of all, I appreciate that it was the football teams. I think the NFL maybe decided they canceled the game a little bit later. I mean, I think they were actually initially planning to get back to play, you know, at some point. But I think it was the coaches on both teams that decided, no, there's no more football tonight. We're done tonight. No matter what's going on, we're done tonight. And it was also incredible to watch the players. I mean, the general displays of emotion and the way they were there for each other and you know, hugging each other and supporting each other in a very human and very real way. I think it was a very powerful scene, and I hope this young man survives. It sounds like he's doing better. It sounds like he's making some progress. So hopefully he's going to, and hopefully he wakes up soon. And then he can see that, that despite the tragedy that took place and all the love that came from this tragedy, that how many people rallied together, and I guess he's got a charity for children's toys that's just taken off. It's just receiving millions of dollars in support. And I think it's all beautiful, and even this young man, hopefully he's going to survive, and hopefully he'll be okay. But flowers are still growing. Love is still showing up, and humanity is still coming through, and that is the most important thing. And all of a sudden, nobody cared about a football game; they were just cared about this one man and his well-being, and that was it. And that went for both teams. That was that part of it was a beautiful thing to experience. And amidst a genuine tragedy. The man's only like 24 years old and a pro athlete. You don't think of something like that happening to somebody like this, but it just goes to show you how fragile life really is, and just an example of how to just cherish every single moment, especially those good people in your life, those people that you love. Cherish those people every moment that you have them, because you just never know. I mean, again, as somebody who's a near-death experience, I can tell you, you just never know when life's going to change on a dime like that.
Yeah, and someone who's had really close calls.
And you certainly you really died yourself.
Yeah, multiple times. So close.
Yep.
And, and we were talking earlier tonight, next time there's a close call, next time there's a conversation with God, next time there's a negotiation, next time there's a free will, I'm just like, take me, just do this, please.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm ready.
And I know that we were talking earlier, just like, I don't want to sound like, I'm grateful for this life. I'm grateful to be here, but at the same time, I'm ready to come home. I am. I mean, when I had my near-death experience, I wasn't really given a choice. I kind of had an experience of just of a knowing of being, and in that being, I knew I was going to be back here. But I have to admit, don't get me wrong, I'm glad to be here, and I hope that while I'm here, dreams can come true, and we both really want to change this world, do something really positive and meaningful for the world before we go. But I'm with you, Shana. I mean, if given that opportunity, it's time to, let's just say I'm at peace with the idea that if I go to sleep tonight and I don't wake up tomorrow, I'm totally at peace with it. I go very peacefully. I know that I've got nothing but love in my heart when I go.
That's right.
And whatever little I've affected this world, I did it with love. Did the best I could to make sure it was all done with love. All done from that heart space.
Yeah.
And I know you're just like, that's why we do this.
Leave
this is why
it
we're such good friends.
We found it.
The idea is, leave this world a little better than we found it, for sure.
Leave all beings and the planet better than you found them.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a really simple rule for living.
And yes, and I've said it in other videos, and I say it all the time, just a simple matter of just choose love. That's it. Just choose love. I wake up every day, and that's the first thought that I have is, okay, let's just choose love and see how we can apply it to the day.
Yeah. How can I show up and be loved today?
Yes. They can mean a lot of different things depending on the situation and the people. I mean everything from running into a person, at the convenience store, to, of course, your life partner, to even your dogs and kitties, and the fuzzy four-legged members of your family, to your friends, to just so many things, to nature, Mother Earth, relationship to God, all of that. How can you show up in love? How can you show up in love? And
also the big thing that I'm seeing a lot of caring, compassionate people I know work on is a relationship to self.
It really is.
The ways that we honor self. And I'm seeing a lot of people do incredible boundary work where they're loving themselves, and not in a selfish, egotistical way.
Well, love isn't selfish or egotistical. So,
exactly.
Right.
So I have to describe what that is, because then people say, if you love yourself,
that
then
sounds
you're not
selfish on the
loving
surface.
God, or whatever. Like, there's all these stipulations.
Right, but that's the ultimate. When you love yourself, because you are God, you are a part of the divine consciousness. When you love yourself, you are loving God. That's the ultimate example of loving the divine. And I feel like if you're living in that loving space and you've learned to love yourself, then your goal is not to be isolated and separated. You're not trying to turn yourself into an island, as it were. You want to lift those up around you as well, and you want every situation that you're in to have the best possible outcome.
That's right.
And as somebody who's living in that loving space, that's what I think about. If I'm in this situation with these people, what is the best possible outcome, and what role can I play in giving that every chance to create that best possible outcome?
Right.
You're not thinking just about yourself, you're thinking about everybody.
Yeah, right. We're thinking about everyone all the time.
Yes.
What does this look like? What does
Absolutely.
this need to be? Today I had a pretty interesting encounter with someone. I went to the dry cleaners. The dry cleaners were, I recently started going all the time, they're eco-friendly and they work on like really delicate materials. And the person who owns the business is from another country, and English is not their first language. And I walk in and I hear this music, and I'm kind of like, this music is like different. This is like divinely inspired music. Like the
But
sound
it
of
touched
it
you.
is
It
different.
felt touching to you. It stirred the soul, kind of thing.
Well, it wasn't that, it was an awareness.
Okay.
And then that awareness led to a conversation that was so gentle and tender. And this woman is a very, very soft speaker, very soft, you know, like a sitcom could be made about this person, like, cause you just can't hear her when she talks.
Oh, okay.
And it's a very low, soft voice. And you have to guess at what she's saying, because she speaks so soft and low, and also because of her accent. So you're really
have to
tuned
listen.
in. But you're always really tuned in to people when you care about them. And I care about this person, I just don't really know her. And she's always come across as being very, you know, you're there and I'm here. Like that was good for her.
Yeah.
And something happened. The music was playing, the room was different. She came across as someone different. And she grabbed my hand very gently, and she grabbed my arm, and she said, you're very special, and you're very blessed, and there's something about you that is really genuine, and really, she had these words, but they could tell they weren't her words, they were given to her.
Okay.
And the way she delivered them. And I held her hand and I said, you're a blessing and you're really special to me. And I can tell people don't engage with her that way because she's very off with people.
Right.
And I said, do you mind if I give you a hug? And I hugged this woman,
Oh,
and
nice.
I could just feel God's love moving, and I thanked her for being a blessing and for making my life better.
Oh, nice.
And it was so wonderful.
Such a genuine moment.
And
showing up in love.
And she just let me know, like, it was warm and welcoming and loving to have that connection today. And I was just feeling the same thing, and I'm in complete awe because this is a person who comes across as very down to earth, very present in the moment, very much about the facts, and isn't feeling. She never shows emotion. She barely engages with people. And she took that time today. And as silly as it sounds, I'm really excited about going back to the cleaners.
Oh yeah, that's really wonderful. So you made a genuine connection. So when you see each other again, it's probably going to be hopefully another more nice experiences and
Right.
maybe some pleasant conversations and maybe getting to know each other a little bit better.
Exactly. I'm gonna ask her if she wants to have coffee or tea at some point and
Nice.
visit,
Yeah.
and just let her know that there's somebody who really cares and appreciates
Who sees her? Who sees her?
She's the only employee I ever see running the dry cleaners.
Jeez.
And they're open 6 days a week. So my guess is she's working at least 70 hours a week.
Wow.
At least 70. Because they open early before people go to work. They're open later for when people get home from work.
Right.
And she does this 6 days a week.
Jeez. Incredible.
And yet I never see anyone helping her. I never hear another voice in the background. It's just her with her little radio and her plants in the front.
Wow.
You know,
There's got to be
I
somebody.
don't know
You
if
think there's
she
got to be
has
somebody
family.
helping her, maybe not. But gosh, that's incredible if she's holding it down by herself, including
She
doing the
seems
dry
to be-
cleaning and all of it.
I've never seen another employee there ever, and I've been going there off and on for 5 years.
Wow. Okay.
And I've never seen another person. Now that the other cleaners, where I'd sometimes take my clothes, is now doing like delivery only. There's no in-store service anymore. I'm taking everything to her.
Okay.
Plus, they're becoming more environmentally awake and friendly and diverse, and I appreciate that so much. So now that I'm realizing the extra efforts they're going to care for the planet, where they're not really leaving a mark where the cleaners was,
Oh right. Okay.
which is so important, to me at least, and I think to a lot of people watching probably. Now I'm just like, she's getting my business. The other place I was going was also environmentally friendly and aware, and that's what their business was based on. I think she doesn't know how to promote her business that way, but I'm hoping now that the other service has changed at a different competing location, it just brings more business to her and just blesses her more.
Right on, I hope so.
So I get to tell my neighbors, hey, here's where I go.
Absolutely, word of mouth is a great way
She
to
does
advertise.
alterations too. So,
If you've been seeing her that long, she must do a good job.
I mean, she's kindness, and I realize how alone she must be. If she's spending 70 hours a week alone at work, what does the rest of her life look like? What other life does she have that she has time for? Like, how can she honor that?
Hopefully she comes home to a family, but yeah, if she's working those kinds of hours, she probably comes home and has dinner and goes to bed. I mean, that's, but it's hard to say. But if she's got a family, there's some serious super women out there that can work those hours and they go home and take care of the kids, take care of the family and whatever they need to do, and then go to bed.
I think I have a new friend.
Sounds like it. She sounds pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
And she's really impressive. So, yeah, there's goodness showing up. And, even with, the election for Speaker in the House, which I'm not trying to get political, and I avoid politics.
Yeah, especially for this.
Yeah, I avoid politics. But I'm noticing a person who stood present on a stage for January 6th activities is been denied a Speaker of the House position multiple times. Now there's going to be a recount, and I'm seeing less division in politics, more coming together within a party, rather than seeing like almost two separate parties within a party.
It'd be nice to see some genuine bipartisanship. Again, I don't want to dive into that.
Exactly,
but
are you noticing the unity that I'm seeing, where there's more of two parties coming together and a party that was divided kind of like a two-party system when it was still under the same title?
I'm thinking I've seen it, but I'm going to give it some more time before. I mean, because I've been so jaded on politics, like a lot of people have for a long time. I'm just going to do the old wait and see thing. But right now, I mean,
Agreed.
There's some promise to some actual bipartisanship happening. So we'll just leave it at that.
That's unity, right?
Potentially, yeah.
These are the things I've been calling in at a global level and a local level as well.
I mean, we got to do this together, no matter politics or living life or whatever we're talking about. I mean, we're in this together, and we're much stronger working together than apart. I mean, we can be strong individual people, but we're at our best when we're working together. As a big world family.
That's exactly it. So the things that I'm calling in are the things I see manifesting, the things I see happening. And the goodness I want to see in the world isn't just the goodness of how people live who are the people in my inner circle, but I'm seeing it spread out now. I'm seeing it openly. I'm seeing acts of kindness.
It seems like a lot of people are just ready for some serious change, and I'm hoping that's what we're seeing, a reflection of that feeling. I mean, I'm hoping what we're seeing is not just going to be a flash of the pan because it's a new year. But I think there's a lot of people that really, really want to see that genuine change and really want to see people come together and really make some serious progress and get some really serious things done that actually helps everybody. I mean, we're not trying to just help segments of society, segments of the certain financial classes or what have you. We're trying to help every single man, woman, and child here. Even finding solutions for immigrants and finding solutions for people that are on the streets and finding solutions for families that are in struggle in one form or another, but just solutions for everybody, because we all deserve to live a peaceful, meaningful life. And especially people with their families, to know that you're safe, your children are safe, your family members are safe, and you can go out and work and do the kind of work and live the kind of life that you really want to live and hopefully dream about living, and maybe even in your own part of the world, make your positive difference. Again, showing up on that love we talk about. And that could be anybody, anywhere, no matter how big or how small. I mean, that love can show up anywhere at any point.
I've been posting almost daily events in Iran. There's a fantastic doctor who I've been following on social media who's Persian and fighting, screaming out like on social media to be heard, asking for justice, asking for intervention, asking for assistance, creating more awareness. And I follow her, she's phenomenal. And today there was a post that was different than usual. 21-year-old performer, well-known performer in this country, was arrested and imprisoned for speaking out about the rights of women, and today was released.
Oh, wow.
Released from prison.
Gosh.
Very different outcome than what we've been seeing.
That is a very different outcome.
So my hope and what I'm trusting in is manifesting kindness, unity,
understanding,
people standing together. And I'm really hoping that the larger international organizations who have pull, who have power, who speak for social justice can have a space to be involved in what's happening to people who speak for the rights of women and make a difference, can be heard in some way that maybe they haven't been heard before, can maybe reach people in a certain way, and can maybe restore the openness which once existed in Iran in the 1970s. Is there a way to go back to that when people were tolerant and accepting, when things were more open, when
Iran was actually an ally to the United States?
Exactly. That part too. But I meant just for the freedoms of women, where women could show their hair and wear short skirts if they wanted, and dress, in whatever style of clothing they chose. I mean, I see these photos from the 70s of, the early 70s of these women with this long hair wearing these short poochy dresses and looking adorable, and that's just not the Persian culture I'm currently seeing.
Right.
Historically, if I look at Persian culture, I'm thinking belly dance, because belly dance, right? Belly dance,
Sure.
We both dance, and like that's kind of.
I don't consider myself a belly dancer, but I definitely love to dance, and even though I've got a girl who's a singer of a couple of my projects and sings on some of my original songs, she's also a professional belly dancer and world dancer. So I'm exposed to belly dance all the time, and you have also done actual belly dance yourself. So definitely that influence is part of both of our lives.
Yeah, Persian and Egyptian belly dance.
And in the case of my singer, a lot of her dance is Indian. She's very Indian belly dance and a lot of Indian culture in what she does.
That's my next to learn.
You two need to meet each other. So.
We do. I want to meet her soon.
I hope so. I
know I will. I want to meet Katie.
She's one of my favorite people in the whole world. One of the best people that I know. One of my best friends. She's basically like a sister to me, and her husband too. He's like a brother to me, and the most fantastic human beings on the planet, as far as I'm concerned.
I said this Radix was moving, trying to get more comfortable. Are you good? Are you on your blanket? He's so happy. I love it when he joins us for videos, and I love it when he's sleepy for videos instead of wanting to play the whole time, because it makes the conversation so much easier.
It does make it a little easier.
But he's also really just such a supportive being, and it's nice seeing, the things that didn't fit in 2022, which was the behavior of individuals, kind of fall away, and the year starting out with acts of kindness and goodness and unity. And I'm loving what I'm seeing.
So far I am too. I mean, I can't help but be a little hesitant. I don't want to say apprehensive, but hesitant, because actions speak louder than words. Put these intentions into action, and have it continue past the first few days of a new year. I hope this is sign of things to come. That is what I'm holding out hope for. What's happening so far, what I'm seeing and what I'm feeling, what it feels like, is that this is the beginning of something big for so many people. I feel like, we're talking about it, both of our lives, just our own personal lives have the potential to really just blow up this year on so many levels, and I'm hoping so. I mean, again, everything's been such hell. I mean, I've been my own health, your health. I mean, my health has been hell lately, and I have not been feeling good for a couple of months now. And again, all that stuff I'm looking to hopefully evolve beyond, but again, opportunities seem to be presenting themselves that were not there before. And I'm feeling like, there's a lot of people that are like saying the same thing. 2022 is super rough, but 2023 has so much possibility, and I'm hoping that we realize those possibilities. Again, see some dreams come true here for real.
Yeah.
And so I don't want to be a doubter at all. So I just want to make sure, even though I'm kind of hesitant, at the same time, I'm very, very optimistic, because I'm seeing some really good signs, and it's not just us. I'm seeing a lot of people that are saying a lot of the same things about themselves, their lives, and the people around all of them as well, their families and so on.
Well,
The potential's there. It is
Yeah.
absolutely there. I mean, we really could just shift so many things in our lives, but just not in our lives, but in the process of doing so, shift so many things in this whole world, all over the world, all over the world.
well, this is what manifesting is, right?
Right?
And part of manifesting is not just visualizing, but visualizing to the point where you experience physically, emotionally,
And in your mind, you're already
spiritually.
there.
But you're like, I can smell what that smell
Totally,
is in that
absolutely,
setting,
yes.
and I can
Oh.
touch the environment, and I can feel what that looks like.
And I'm totally there, and I am totally
Yeah.
feeling that. I'm already there. Where I'm still, the process is still in motion, but I feel like a part of me is already there, and
Right.
so that's also gives me a lot of optimism and hope that this is all going to come to fruition for all of us.
There are a lot of big things on the horizon for both of us this
Yeah.
year. Things that we're not able to talk about openly.
Not
things
yet.
that we've
All in due time.
It'll happen.
All in due
It'll
time.
happen. You'll find out.
Of course. The
Stay
videos will
tuned.
continue, of
Yes,
course.
the videos will continue, and as we can talk about things, then we will. But
We don't want to get ahead of ourselves. Let things happen nice and natural and organic because they
they
are.
always do.
Yeah.
But there are some big cogs that are moving more swiftly.
Right. Yeah, a lot of the stuff doesn't seem like it's years away anymore. It could be, months, even weeks away at this point. So again, we'll keep you posted, of course.
Yeah. It's going to be an eventful and incredible and powerful year. It's going to be a life-changing year, not an
Absolutely.
existing year.
Totally.
Some
One of
years
my
it's like we're
quotes is from
existing.
survive to thrive. So no more surviving.
Same.
Time to thrive.
I have a presentation called almost exactly that.
Of course you do.
One of my
Of course you do.
Because we're on the same wavelength,
Yeah,
and this is
totally.
what we do.
This is what we've always done.
I
for
had
sure.
that presentation starting in 2007.
That's awesome.
Surviving and thriving with autism.
Wonderful. Yep.
That was the name of it.
That works. That's very close. Yep. From survive to thrive, and again, that applies to so many things in life.
We do this a lot.
We've always done this, yeah.
We always
From the
have
moment
since
we
we
ever
met.
first became friends.
Yeah. The moment we met, we became friends, and
Absolutely.
This is just
Like we already knew each other for years.
this is us. This is what we do. This is how it goes.
Yep.
I love it.
Totes,
I love us.
Yep.
We're good friends.
I love it.
And my friend right here.
I like it.
Got my son right here. Friend right here.
I love it. It's wonderful to have genuine
Some
real
friends
friends.
are family.
People that are a safe space. You can let down your guard, be yourself, no judgment. Just
That's right.
just belief and support, understanding, connection. We got that both ways.
We do.
She needs to talk. I'm here to listen. I need to talk. She's here to listen. I mean, it's been wonderful. It's a very, very mutual, giving,
Yes.
positive, loving friendship.
And we're both so psychically in tune with one another. We call each other and we're like, okay, what's going on?
Right. Totally.
I feel this. I'm feeling you're having a headache.
Yes.
Tell me what's going
Yeah,
on for
sure.
you. Is there extra stress? Is this something organic? What's happening?
Or just hey,
And you
I got the feeling that I needed to see if you're doing. See if
Yeah.
you're okay. Just
Yeah.
So yeah.
And you call me. You're like, okay, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. I know you're awake.
Yeah, we're both total
And
night owls, so
we
we're both
are.
usually awake at 1 o'clock.
Yeah,
in the
we're
morning.
always working on one.
Yeah.
So you'll call and say, hey, something's going on with you. I feel it.
Yeah,
What's
totally.
up? Are you okay? And
And
checking.
it goes both ways. Same thing.
Yep.
Yep. You seem to always know when I'm down with one of my bad headaches,
Yeah.
which lately has been almost every day. But fortunately, not all my migraines are horrible migraines. A lot of times my migraines will pass in a couple of hours, but sometimes they'll just go all day and all night,
Yeah.
and they're just brutal. As you know, a couple of months ago, I had one that
I
lasted almost a
know.
week straight. That was, yeah. I already got into that. I won't get into that here. This is meant to be setting the positive intentions for the year.
That's right.
That was last year, and
That's
I'm
right.
hoping getting myself back to some point of functionality again, and getting back to my previous normal. I've always gotten migraines since I fell, but I was at least at a point where I could kind of live with them and work around them. Lately, it's got to the point where it's been just a bit much to try to work around, but hopefully continue to get back to keep the healing process going and maintain certain being productive. And I know this, we're both this way. It's
Yeah.
just, we're not don't get me wrong. Either of us loves to sit down and watch a good movie. But sitting and watching, watching TV or something is not really our MO. It's not our forte. We're not couch potatoes. We like to be busy. We like to be productive, and it doesn't feel good to be down all day. And she gets them too, really bad. And
Yeah,
it just does
we
not.
get them
Not only
a lot.
does it just suck to experience something like a migraine, and if you get migraines, you totally know what we're talking about here. But it also really sucks to just not get anything done that day, to not feel productive that day. And it's so important to just keep moving in one form or another. You know, whether it's working out to doing our work to any number of things we like to do. You know,
That's right.
you getting out and having a night is just have fun and dancing for that matter, which is also very few and far between lately.
That's true. Been seeing live music, but yeah.
You know, we had a nice New Year's Eve, both of us did.
Yes.
You went and saw a really cool show, and you know, and I have a music project that's been playing out, and we had a really wonderful New Year's Eve, and actually, not that the venue was real big, but we sold it out and had just a magical evening.
Yes.
You know, it was something that was, for both of us, we both needed to have that wonderful, amazing New Year's Eve, because we just both have been going through so much, we'll just say challenges, so many challenges lately. And I know in your health too, and my health in particular has been really rough, and we both needed that, and it was just such a great purging, it was a releasing, and again, setting that intention for what will hopefully be an incredible 2023, not just for the both of us, but for everybody out there, because I think everybody's just ready for it. Everybody's ready for that big change, you know, just not in just our own lives, but just in society and in the world.
Right. But you said it, and I want you to say it real slowly because you're very modest and you rushed over it quickly. What happened at your show New Year's Eve?
Oh, that we sold it out?
Thank you.
Yeah.
I can't let you rush over that.
It was pretty cool. It was pretty magical. I mean, it wasn't just us. We had some other wonderful artists on there. You know, we had, of course, Katie's Darshan Dance Company, and of course, a beautiful artist called Metamyth, and my project Naga. And then I got to do even a DJ set as well and play some of my own originals. You know, the lead singer of Naga, again, that my sister we were just talking about, and you know, of course, belly dance and world dance extraordinaire. She sings on a few of my tracks. We got to perform those, and it went really well. And to the extent that a new friend who's from the artist, from Metamyth, the other artist that performed, also a producer, has a record label, is interested in releasing some of my tracks and also releasing, recording and releasing tracks with Naga. So it was very productive and a really amazing potential start to 2023, and that right there by itself is just a lot to look forward to. So again, not trying to get ahead of myself here, because right now we're just talking, it's all in just the conversation phase, but again, it just shows the potential, the possibilities for what could truly be an epic and amazing 2023. And we've got some other stuff that we were talking about that we're not going to get into right now. We're going to kind of, again, let that build, let that grow and evolve, and again, we'll talk about it as it comes up. But the potential for 2023 is just amazing. And again, I can't put that out there enough. It's not just about us, because we do this because we want to reach out to everybody and hopefully impact and touch everybody in some way. And I hope everyone has had that similar kind of a start. And I'm hearing from a lot of people, and I look on social media from time to time, and it looks like a lot of people have that same feeling. 2022 was rough for a lot of us, but 2023 has got so much possibility and potential to be something amazing and life-changing. Yeah. And I'm all about supporting that. Let's do it. Let's all do it.
It's happening.
It is. It's happening.
And we see it, and we feel it, and we breathe it.
Absolutely.
We feel it in our
Think
spirit.
about it all the time,
You know
envision it, imagine it all the time. One of the ways that you help to manifest it and to realize it and to help bring it into reality, or into this reality, as it were, is to be living and breathing it already, even if you're not maybe quite there in the experiential sense, but to be thinking about it, living it, breathing it, and being there already within yourself. I think is one of the key ways you help manifest and bring out the coming of dreams, or the dreams coming true, as it were. The manifesting of dreams coming true. Say that the right way.
It is.
I get excited and I jumble my words up sometimes.
But we do that. We rush. We're enthusiastic. Our mind's going. Our mouth can't keep up. Our heart's racing, and it's just so much excitement.
It is exciting.
So
it is. There's so much promise there, and I haven't been genuinely. It's funny. I have not felt like genuine excitement for anything in a while, and I'm not trying to be be a downer by any means. I mean, I'm generally a very optimistic person, but I haven't felt genuine excitement in a long time, and it's kind of funny. I don't know how to be excited right now. How do I celebrate? How do I be happy? It's like, oh my gosh, it's been a minute. So I'm kind of getting used to this. Wow, there's real possibilities and potential here, and there's every reason to believe it's all going to manifest. And again, we talk about this and bring it up, not just for ourselves and our lives, because a lot of stuff that we're working on together also has huge potential right now, but also to inspire you to believe the same in your life. Whatever you're dreaming about, whatever you have planned for this year, whatever you've been hoping for, working towards, maybe for who knows how many years, like I have been, and we both have been. Believe it, manifest it. And I hope something here can inspire you and help reinforce that for you as well. Say, okay, we're off to a good start. Let's roll with that. Let's build on that. And again, the world will be a better place for it. For some of my I have a lot of quotes that I have, I've got an online store called gravity.life, it's on Redbubble. But one of my favorite quotes is, the more of us living the life of our dreams, the closer we come to living in the world of our dreams. Because when you're living in, like I said earlier in the video, when you're really living in that loving space, you're not just loving and living for yourself, you're not trying to just lift yourself up, you want to lift everybody up along the way.
That's it.
Yeah.
And we do, we want to lift everybody. I've always said, if anything good happens to me, everyone who wants to come along is coming along.
Absolutely.
Because it's about blessing other people.
And we're so much stronger together, and the more of us that are living those dreams and bringing dreams into reality, again, the more beautiful of a world we're going to be living in.
We get to create our reality. We're not just stuck with the hand we're dealt, because we are dealt a hand. And then we get to shape it and mold it. We realize that every situation is malleable.
It is.
We
and
get
everything
to
can be moved
create
towards your
our
dreams.
own
It can all
reality.
be taken steps and be moved and shaped towards your dreams. Towards whatever you perceive your best self to be, whatever you perceive your best life to be. That highest path, as it were.
Absolutely. That's it. There's so much to be excited about. There's so much to look forward to.
Right.
There's so much goodness. There's so much happiness. There's so much excitement. There's just great things are blossoming. They're just all around.
And just support that flow. Let that momentum just keep on building. And watch wonderful things happen.
That's exactly it. I mean, and as we say that, what's happening next to me? Somebody's snoring really loud.
Oh, it's hilarious.
It's
You can see
cute,
that happening.
but he's got his rhythm going. He's in his space, right?
Right.
Like, isn't that kind of what you're inviting everyone to do?
It
Like,
is.
he's living your invitation.
It is, right? It's getting us like that life rhythm, that it's like music. It's, when everything's in tune, you can, if you even have a 4-piece band or a 100-piece orchestra, if this one instrument is out of tune, then the whole piece is out of tune and doesn't sound good. It's getting everything in tune, synchronized and synergized and working together. And that's when you've got a beautiful piece of music, in the works, right?
Yeah. Always. There's always music going within us all the time.
And we know
Both of
life
us.
and the universe. It's like Tesla said it best. And I'm probably going to paraphrase this a little bit, but if you really want to understand the secrets of the universe, I know I say this all the time, but if you want to understand the secrets of the universe, think in terms of frequency, vibration, and energy. And it is. It's all being in tune and in sync and in synergy. Creating that beautiful piece of music that is your life, and the beautiful piece of music that is that whole symphony, worldwide symphony that is planet Earth and all life on Earth. Giving everyone the chance to thrive and be, like I said, be at their best, live their best life, be that highest self, whatever that may be to you. And it's up to you to decide that. Not somebody else to tell you what that is. It's up to you to decide that. You figure that out, because it's your life and your existence. But at the same time, and I can't say that enough, but if we can do it together, work together, we are so much stronger for it. And it's so much more gratifying when you get to share with other people, be on that same page with other people, and be growing and doing great things with other people. One of the things I love about being in a band is you get to do such wonderful things and share with other people and connect on these really beautiful and just what are to me some very unique ways to just connect and share with other people and create something that hopefully affects even more other people, more people out there.
Right. So, you mentioned Tesla, and I'm going to ask something I think I already know the answer, but I'm going to ask because we haven't discussed this. Living as close as we do to where the coil was, to where his lab
Right.
was, to where, do you feel a different energetic force, residual energetic force from his work? Like a physical, residual, energetic force?
I mean, I would say I definitely, yes, the answer is an absolute yes. And I don't know if it's just because of geography, but just I've always had, an affinity for Nikola Tesla. This is somebody that I feel like if I'd have ever met the man, we probably could have been friends, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
I would love to have, been able to go grab lunch with him and go have some really deep conversation. I mean, I have so many crazy ideas, getting into, the both scientific and spiritual, about
Right.
energy itself. It's just somebody that I just feel a connection to for whatever reason. And I think there might be something to be said that it wasn't, but maybe an hour and a half away that he had set up and did these experiments. Just a little bit south of here. I think it was near Colorado Springs. I think is where it was.
Colorado Springs.
But no, he's somebody that I've always related to. Just something about him. I mean, He was a very unique and unusual personality that I understand, and and I know he had an affinity for pigeons and whatnot, but I think that's kind of cool too that a connection to I don't know to these animals, to birds, because I have an affinity for animals myself, not specifically to one type of animal or another, but not to get off topic, but just I think there's a lot of energy in this, even in this land itself, partly because of the energy and the work that was being done with Tesla being here, but there's also a very powerful spiritual energy as well. And many people, native peoples that have been here for many, many centuries will say there's just something about this area that has a very magical kind of, very spiritual kind of energy to itself, to it anyways. So you have that going on, and then, the energy movements that were taking place when Tesla was here. I think there's a lot of that, I think, plays into this land, this particular region just has something very magical about it.
It does.
It just really resonates, and it always has. I really love it here. That's, not just because, I do love Denver, but it's more about the land that I really appreciate more than anything.
Right.
These mountains are just magical to me.
Yeah, the mountains are magical. So where we are right now is 4 miles to the Rockies.
Right.
Which, we usually look out the front window and stare at the mountains
right there.
because they're right there. They're so beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
I love living in the foothills, and I think I shared with you, and I'll share with you today. It was so reaffirming of the things I've been calling in. But today, driving home on the road to my house, I'm looking to the right, couple of maybe 1 mile of rolling hills, and then it's the Rockies. Like the mountains are right there. And everything's covered in snow. We've had a lot of snow lately, which has been unusual for us. We've been in a drought for the last 9 years, a serious drought, and snow has been pretty scarce in comparison to what people visualize with Colorado. So we get maybe 8 days of snow a year. Right now there's 2.5 feet of snow in the yard, which is wonderful. We need every bit of moisture we can get.
Sure.
I'm driving the road to my house. So the foothills, the road goes right in the middle of the foothills. So there's hills to the right, hills to the left. So a mile of hills to the right, and then it's the Rockies. And then the left is more hills and a lake. There's a big, beautiful lake. But these snow-covered hills with this 2.5 foot deep snow and just tiny bits of tall grass sticking out through the top. And I look to my left, and the sun is setting right behind the mountains. And I can see a tiny strip of orange, just a little strip of orange at the very top of one of the peaks. The rest of the sun is already behind the mountain. And there's this certain orange glow shining all over the white. And there's a herd of 200 elk to my left. And they're eating the grasses, and the lake is right behind them. And they're still, and they're peaceful, and they're quiet. And they're pretty close to the road. So I do what any animal lover is going to do and slow way down, where it's probably not that smart. But oh my God, there's a giant herd of elk on the road to my house, right by my house.
I think slowing down is a smart thing to do, because every once in a while an elk might run out into the street. That does every once in a while happen, especially if they get spooked.
I've seen elk not in their happiest state. Along the side of the road.
Never mind.
People have hit them on the road to my house.
Of course, and of course you don't want to hurt the animal on the one hand, but a big old elk will destroy your car too. You hit an elk,
it can destroy you as well.
Yeah, you can die. You can certainly die if you're going too fast.
So of course I slow down.
They're really big animals. They're really powerful animals, and I wouldn't want to see an animal be hurt in any way, but at the same time I don't want to see a person get hurt either, because hitting an animal like that, it can be detrimental to all involved.
The speed limit's 50 on that road. I usually drive 53 because of the flow of traffic, and also I don't want to get a ticket, but other people like to drive 60, so I'll drive about 53. And I slow down to probably 43 instead, because elk are massive, and you have to really be cognizant of what they may or may not decide to do at the last second.
Well, they're generally pretty calm animals, but every once in a while you don't know what might spook them, or get them.
Until they try to attack you.
I've never been on the receiving end of that, so
man.
I've been around elk a few times, and I even had years ago I had a dog. My dog that I told you about, his name was our big beautiful dog that I had years ago. But when he was still a puppy, he decided I was in a park and there was a big giant elk just by himself, just grazing quietly, and my dog decided to take off and go run towards the elk, and I'm, oh my gosh, this elk's gonna kill my dog.
Right.
But thankfully the elk stayed calm and just ran just fast enough to stay ahead of my dog, and finally I was calling to my dog, and even though he was a pup and not really fully trained at that point, he became a really wonderful, amazing animal that just would stay by my side all the time. But at the point, he was still a puppy. But fortunately he stopped and came back, but it was just kind of nice. The elk, I mean, fortunately stayed very, very calm. So, I mean, even though I'm yelling at the top of my lungs at my dog, the dog came running back to me finally, and the elk just stopped, kind of looked up, checked everything out. Yep, it's okay. And he just went back to eating. He just stayed really calm, and thankfully he never turned on my dog. And he just was just a really cool moment. Kind of a magical moment in a way too, because I felt like sort of Mother Nature kind of just watched out for us in that moment as well. Because I mean, it could have gone real bad. I mean, that could have gone a lot of different ways. And fortunately, we had a nice, gentle elk that was in a mellow mood. And fortunately, my dog at some point finally decided, oh, I better listen to Dad there. And he came back.
Yeah, I had a close call at Rocky Mountain National Park with a herd of elk. My friend and I walked as the herd went this way, and there was a bigger herd way out that way.
Right.
Well, next thing we know, the herds kind of mixed and made a circle around us.
Oh.
So what happens, tourists are like, this is gonna go on YouTube, and they all get out their phones and start recording an elk on her hind legs huffing and growling at us. And she's up doing this, and she's
not a good sign.
And I was like, I think I'm gonna die right now. She was really close to us. What we didn't know is in the tall grasses there were babies.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's probably a calf nearby.
So there were little calves. There were 2 little calves. Of course she's gonna protect her baby.
Absolutely.
But I see one of the babies, and I'm like, oh my God. And I'm just like staring. He's so beautiful, and I'm just sending all this love. Well, she thinks because, you know, our eyes are positioned, you know, close together, that's the attack mode for a lot of predators versus prey. So like the predator has the eye closer together, the nose, you know.
Right.
And then the prey is the eyes further apart, broader nose, like her. So she thinks predator, and there's a baby, and I don't know it. My friend doesn't know it. We're sitting on a rock. I'm like, whatever we do, let's just look the other way, quit staring at the baby. And there's other babies in the grass.
Whatever you don't run,
No,
just
but
move
there's
slowly.
a big
Just move
bull
slowly.
way over here, and the bull's usually the one you have to worry about. But the bull was calm. He minded his business. He knew we were there. He was fine. He could have come running and charged and killed us.
Oh yeah.
But it was the mom. She was so big, and she was so mad.
All perfect animals.
But there, we were in the middle of a herd of 2 herds that converged, and we're on a rock. Parking lots way over here. We're in this rock, and all of a sudden it's just elk all around the rock in a U shape.
Right.
And we can't make it from A to B because she's right next to the trail. She knows exactly where we're gonna walk because it's worn. It's a worn path. And I'm like, so instead of people coming to help, they gather their children who were like 3 and 4 years old. They're like, watch this, and they all get their cameras, and I'm like, you really want your kids to see what's about to happen? Because
how many videos have you watched where this sort of thing goes
about
bad?
to be killed. And I just thought that was it. And my friend I'm sitting with, he said, I'm not going down without a fight. And I said, I can't punch an animal. She's gonna have to kill me.
Yeah,
I cannot
was
lay
gonna
a
say,
hand
don't
on
even,
her.
you're not gonna face an elk. You're gonna punch an elk, please.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not gonna go down without a fight. I will die fighting. Well, as this is happening to us,
That would really make it worse
someone
anyways.
I know from the university was hiking that day and was attacked by a moose.
Jeez.
And she needed multiple surgeries.
Well, moose are even bigger than elk, so that's
Exactly.
pretty scary. Anyways.
So it was the day that the animals kind of like, I don't even think it was a full moon. If it was a full moon, it could describe something, but
anyways,
whatever
in keeping
it was.
with talking about the love energy, you know, something in there
it's
obviously
like,
kept you
we're
safe.
fine. We're safe. We made it out okay.
And especially since the
we sent love. And that was my antidote.
since the
to
bull
that.
elk didn't attack, that's really
Yeah.
telling. I mean, obviously the bull elk didn't feel a certain sense of threat from the
No.
situation. So,
I was sending
and the
love.
mother, I think, was just mostly just giving you the warning. Hey, I got babies over here. You know, don't get too close.
She's like, quit staring at them. Just don't even look at them. They're
Right.
not here. I mean, she was just like, she was serious. I'm like, I'm looking the other way. I'm like, what baby wear? you know.
And the best thing is you can do is just stay calm in that situation, and your friend like, I'm ready to fight. Is that energy alone can evoke a wild
Yeah,
animal, and you've got to be so
exactly.
careful about that.
Yeah.
I mean, it just calm is the best thing that you can do.
I'm not gonna fight. I am in their space. They invited me in until they didn't, and I need to be at peace with that.
The best thing you do is just look away, and then you move slowly away. Don't run. You just move slowly away at that point.
It took a while. Man, people were like, "Aw," like when we weren't attacked, they were bummed. They wanted to see it happen. I was like, "Are you
of course,
kidding
it means
me?"
viral views, but anyway.
Yeah, like how many YouTube likes do you want? It was very strange.
Well, sometimes people do anything for their 15 minutes of fame.
But they weren't even going to be in the video. They're just going to post somebody's like experience or something.
Right.
But everybody was fine. Everybody was fine. It's okay.
Let it turn out peaceful. Again, I mean, what we're trying to talk about
Person
tonight,
attacked
the whole
by the
idea of
moose.
what
She
we're
went through a
getting
few
into.
surgeries. She was, you know, she did okay after the surgeries. You know, like, yeah.
Well, I'm glad she's okay. You know, again, the whole crux of the video is to talk about love and keep things, you know, flowing and positive.
Yeah, we won't go into the rest of the story, but for the moose, she was just.
Well, again, we're setting intentions for 2023, so we don't want to spend too much time on this. We probably spent more time on this than we probably needed to for this video.
Probably, but you know, we're friends and we talk, and that's what we do.
Yeah, but we have an audience too, so.
Well, we do, but you know, there's this whole thing, and that was kind of like the solution was the sending of love.
Right.
And it was sending love to the animals.
Sure.
And it was also listening to their needs, because listening is an act of love.
It is, absolutely.
So how do you respond to love? With more love. So if someone says, "Hey, I don't like the way you're showing love," it's like, okay, I'll change what I'm doing. I'm gonna look over here. You're still sending love and you're still listening.
Hey, and sometimes the most loving thing you can do is just let something go, or even just simply leave. Sometimes that's just the best thing that you can do.
When
for a
you can leave, you
situation.
leave. When we could leave, we left.
Yeah, sure, of course.
But it was love. It wasn't. There wasn't violence. There wasn't physical contact. There wasn't any of that.
Sure.
It's like you're not listening the way I need you to listen. Receive me the way I need you to receive me.
So take it as a big lesson learned, and, you know, especially the communication with such an animal, such a being. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's communication taking place there. It's not language, obviously, but there's still communication taking place there.
Right. But you know, it's interesting to see that from the same beings where you can see this giant herd and be okay. And then I've also had a walk near a family, 3 of them, a mom, dad, a baby, going to and from a cabin in Estes at the Stanley. I was in one of the cabins at the Stanley Hotel, and going back and forth 6 times back and forth by the same family. And I just sent love. I had to walk about 10 feet from them, really close with baby. And it was night, and it was Halloween. Which, you know how that is at the Stanley. Halloween at the Stanley's really something.
It's usually packed, yep.
But yeah, it was fine, and I sent love, and I just out loud told them how beautiful they were, how I see God in them, and how I love them. Hi, Hermione. I'm sure you heard that. That's Hermione Granger, the kitten. Yes, love. You know, but it's just sending love, and they laid there and they stayed calm, and they just stayed together as a family, touching each other and receiving love.
Beautiful.
Like it's all love, all of it. That's her way of sending love. She loves her voice when she's super happy. She sings for you. That's her happiest.
Thank you.
Yeah, that is her ultimate happiest. She's amazing. She's a magic kitten.
She's a cutie for sure.
She's a magic kitten. Yeah, love shows up.
Just like that.
Just like that. And we talk about love, and Hermione responds. Oh, love. Sweet girl.
Maybe a good place to end it with a kitty call, showing her love.
That's perfect.
Wonderful.
Let's do it.
All right. Well,
Thank you for joining us.
Seriously, here's to an epic, amazing 2023. I mean, really just build on all that momentum, all that positivity, all the wonderful things that you see coming in your life. Embrace that, and you know, hold fast on letting that happen and making that happen. You know, you gotta put the action behind the intention, and good things can come out of it. You know, dreams come true.
Yes.
And that's what this is all about.
That's right. So cheers.
Oh, cheers.
Right here. Cheers to a wonderful 2023.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Much love. Peace.
Thank you for joining us. See you soon.